The real reason you don't have the physique you want. I've just been inside listening to an Alex Hormozy video, and he said something and I just had an epiphany. Okay, so he's on stage speaking, and he said the real reason you don't make as much money as you want is because you're not as good as you think you are. And that really, I kind of just had an epiphany when I heard that, because I thought, that's funny actually. That works the same in fitness as well. Like, the real reason you don't have the physique you want is because you're not as good as you think you are. Because if you were good enough, you would already have the physique. You know, right? You know, your results speak for themselves. For example, if your training was as good as you think it is, if your nutrition was as good as you think it is, if your sleep and your lifestyle and everything else that I've talked about in my previous videos was as good as you think it is, then you would already be there. You would already have the physique that you want. So if you don't have the results that you currently want right now, chances are you're doing one or likely many things wrong. Okay, and what I really like about this quote is it changes the focus from focusing from things like outside of your control and it brings the focus back to you, brings it back internal, and it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get better? And it's the same with these videos, for example. It'd be very easy for me to focus on stuff that I can't control right now. You know, the views are not very good, or, you know, I'm not reaching many people, or, you know, whatever factor, or like I've been having issues with the setup and stuff like that. Like, I could focus on all these things that I can't control, or I can just make a decision to level up and get better. It's like, okay, well, how can we improve things? How can we make the titles better? How can we be more interesting? How can we be more fun? How can we be more engaging? How can we provide more value? Because if I just focus on creating better videos and I keep getting better over time, well, eventually I'm going to see positive results. And it's exactly the same in fitness or in business, in anything else. Okay, so if you're not getting the results that you want, if you don't have the physique that you want right now, fear not, because it is in your control. Okay, and the reason is you're just not good enough. But I do have a model, it's kind of like a framework that I live by to ensure that you're always making progress, and I'm going to give you that model today. It's basically 3 steps. It's 3 very simple steps. But the reason I came up with this model is because when I was younger, first of all, I had a kind of like, I was a typical like teenage lad where I thought I knew everything. I didn't listen to anyone. I wasn't coachable. I didn't have a coach. I had too much of an ego to even think about hiring a coach. I knew everything. But I didn't look very good. I didn't have much muscle, so clearly I didn't know much about fitness, right? But in my head, I thought I knew everything. Okay. But then, kind of when I accepted that, okay, maybe I don't know as much as I think I know, maybe I should find someone who knows what they're talking about. I'd go to YouTube. Fitness YouTube was where, like, the start of my education, to be honest. And what I would do, the biggest mistake that I made, is I would just watch content but not do anything, not take any action at all. I would just consume. And if you've ever done this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The mindless consumption, okay? But just consuming content alone and not taking any action is pointless, you know? Because you only get results and you only see a positive change when you change your actions, okay? It takes change to get change. So this model is going to prevent you from doing that. Okay, so the first step number 1, is learn. Okay, you need to learn. You need to figure out what you don't know. Okay, you need to figure out the constraint. Now, what I like to do is I just try and focus on improving one thing at once. So I'm not trying to say, if we relate it to fitness, right? I'm not trying to improve my training, my nutrition, my sleep, my lifestyle, everything in one go. I might just pick one thing. I might decide, okay, what do I think where is the most room for improvement? Okay, what do I need to improve on the most? Maybe it's my training, maybe it's my exercise execution. Okay, so I'm going to pick that specific thing, and then I'm going to go onto YouTube, because it's 2024, guys. There is zero excuse for not knowing how to do most things. Like, the information is free and available online. Anyone who says, oh, but I don't know, they're just a little bitch, to be honest, because we have Google, we have YouTube. There's so much information online now, good information for free at zero cost. There's no excuses for not knowing. Okay, so step number 1, learn. Go onto YouTube, find a few creators who are talking about this specific thing. Maybe it's exercise execution, okay? So I wouldn't just listen to me. I would listen to a few different people and get various different perspectives of people that you respect and you trust and you value their information, okay? And then decide, like, and I wouldn't do this for very long actually. I would say cap this at like maybe like an hour. So you've maybe got like, I don't know, 3 to 5, 6 videos, depending on how long they are, okay? So 1 hour, decide, okay, I need to get better at exercise execution. I've got 1 hour to learn and consume, okay? Once that hour's over, stop. Don't consume anymore. Stop and think, okay, what is the biggest takeaway that I've learned here? What is the main thing that I'm going to apply right away? And that is step number 2. You have to apply what you learn, because you can learn and learn and learn and learn. You can read 1,000 books, but if you don't make a single change, your life will be exactly the same. And you can watch 1,000 videos on YouTube about fitness and about business and about all these things, but if you don't make a single change to your behavior and your actions, well, you're just going to carry on being stuck in the same place you are right now, getting the same results that you're getting right now, okay? So step number 2 is to apply what you learn. But you can apply what you learn. How do you know if it's working or not? And that is step number 3, is you need to assess your progress. So to relate this to fitness, it's a very good idea to be weighing yourself every single morning before you drink anything, okay? First thing in the morning, wake up, weigh yourself. Just get it done, like brushing your teeth, okay? Progress pictures. You want to be taking progress pictures every single week. So it's not just the scale weight, because the scale weight can be kind of like fluctuate, and you know the scale can be deceiving at times, so you want to take progress pictures as well, okay? If it's about your sleep, maybe consider getting a sleep tracker if you've got budget for it. There's Whoop and Oura Ring, which are good options, and then you've got some data so you can assess, okay, if I make this change, if I pull my meal back further away from my bedtime, how does this affect my sleep? If I slow down my tempo on my reps, how is this affecting my exercise execution? How is this affecting my gains in the gym? Okay, so whatever it is that you want to improve, figure out a way of how you can measure it and assess your results. So you learn what you need to learn, then you apply it, and then you assess. Are you getting better results? Are you getting worse results? Is it staying the same? And then if you just do this over time and just focus, avoid trying to make too many changes at once. Maybe just pick one thing. Decide this week or for the next few days, I'm going to focus purely on exercise execution, and I'm going to get the best at executing exercises. And then once that week's over, you might go on to the next one and say, okay, now to be honest, I think the main thing I need to focus on is my sleep. You know, my sleep is not very good at the moment. I'm going to have this week where I'm just going to focus on the sleep, okay? And then just go on like that. And every week, if you just improve one thing and you make significant progress, at the end of like a year, at the end of a long time, you will be a completely different person. And this brings me on to another point. If you don't look back at your older self and you're not like embarrassed, like to be honest, I'm embarrassed at my younger self sometimes, right? Just because of, you know, just how naive I was and just how inexperienced I was and just how wrong I did things, okay? And just my perspectives and the way I thought. If you're not constantly evolving all the time, then that's just a sign that you're just staying the same. You're just not growing. And if you're not growing, you're actually just retreating, because every single day we're a year older and we're a year closer to death. So I don't want to depress you, but we don't have much time on this planet. And the way I want to spend my time on this planet is living life to the fullest I possibly can. And that means continuous improvement and continuous development, okay? So just pick one thing at once and just try and improve it over time. Now, for some of you, this is going to sound like too much work, okay? And I get it. We've got busy lives to live, we've got things to do, we've got work, we've got bills to pay, you know, we've got mouths to feed, some of us, you know, we've got girlfriends to entertain, etc., etc. Now, if it is too much work, this is where you should hire a coach. Now, I am biased, okay, because I'm a coach myself, but I got the best results when I hired a coach, and I just outsourced it to someone who's already done what I'm trying to do many times already, and he can just give me the blueprint. He can just tell me what to do, and all I've got to do is execute it. And even now, right, I don't have a fitness coach anymore because I'm one myself. It's kind of a little bit redundant, but I have a business coach and I have a health coach, because outside of my fitness goals, the only other goals that I've got right now is a business goal and a health goal. I've got a business goal, a health goal, and a fitness goal. And every single day I wake up and I just try to go to bed one step closer to each of those goals rather than further away, if that makes sense. One step closer rather than one step further away. Okay, so if you do have the budget for it, and if you are serious about this and you're motivated and you want to get the fastest results possible, why would you not hire a coach? Like, it just makes no sense. It's crazy that you would not do that. But I understand, you know, not everyone has the means, and not everyone is so motivated enough to do that. And that's fine if you're not, or if you're just getting started and you kind of like, you're new to your fitness journey or your business journey or whatever, no problem. Just take it step by step. But at some point, for some of you, the further you go down the rabbit hole, the more sense it would make to hire a coach, okay? And the thing you got to remember is that your results speak for yourself. So if you aren't making the amount of money that you want right now, it's simply because you're not good enough. If you don't have the physique that you want right now, it's simply because you're not good enough. If you're single and you're struggling to get a girl or a girlfriend or a guy or whatever, then you're clearly just not good enough, and you just need to focus on developing yourself. I made a video about this previously, about focusing on the things that you can control. It's very easy for us to blame external situations. It's very easy for me to blame the YouTube algorithm. Oh, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like my videos, or this thing or that thing, or, you know, oh, I'm not, like, one way I used to blame is my genetics. I used to tell myself I'm a hard gainer because I'm skinny fat. I just didn't build any muscle for like 1-2 years. I'm a hard gainer, you know, I can't do this. I just have bad genetics. I did this with food intolerances as well. For some of you that don't know, I can't tolerate gluten or dairy very well. I try and limit those foods as much as possible. But I used to say things to myself like, you know, the reason I don't have the physique that I want is because of these food intolerances, and because it affects my diet and it makes it so much harder. And that's just such a victim mindset. And I never made any progress when I thought that way, when I just put the blame on other things. And it wasn't until I took extreme ownership for my situation. You know, I said to myself, okay, this is the situation that I'm in. These are the cards that I've been dealt with. The only person who's going to change my life is me. That's it. No one else. I'm the only person who can turn my life around. I'm the only person who is going to build my physique for me. I'm the only person who's going to go out there and earn my money for me. You know, I'm not going to get it from anyone else. There's no handouts. There's no free lunch. And that's the same for you guys. If you're not where you want to be right now, good, because it just means you need to get better, all right? So just focus. Every single day you wake up, just focus on going to bed one step closer to your goal than one step further away. And if you keep doing this, it doesn't even matter if the step is just this big, but if you continually make progress every single day, and you don't take steps back, and you don't mess up, and you don't do weekends, and you don't, you know, do all the things which really hold people back, it's impossible for you to not get where you want to go. And actually, over time, what you'll start to realize is your goals will get bigger, because what you previously thought was possible is now way bigger. Like, for example, for myself, I got into fitness and I just really wanted to have like a little bit of muscle and a six-pack, and I never ever thought for the life of me that I would have this kind of body right now. I never thought for the life of me I'd have the confidence to be able to make videos and post them on YouTube, okay? There's so many examples, okay? So if you're not where you want to be right now, just focus on getting better every single day. Narrow it down to the one thing that you can learn this week. Focus on that. Learn what you need to learn. Apply that information and assess your results. And if you keep doing that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, your life will look completely different. Okay guys, I hope that helps. You can head to jamessweetland.com for coaching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.